lovely viewers, to another episode of Podchrist, where faith and conversation intersect. My name is Isaac, and today I'm also here with
Baba.
Right. So, it's been great. This week we want to talk about something very sensitive. This is the Euphano segment. Very sensitive, Baba, this is very sensitive. Very sensitive. For those of us who use public transport, this is dear to our hearts.
Very good.
Maybe those of you have your private cars, you don't have this problem. But sometimes when you sit in the public transport, some of the scents that can pass over you can end your life. It can end your life, totally end you. I don't know, do people think about how uncomfortable they make others feel when they come and sit in public transport and kept smelly, sweaty, and looking, I don't know, Baba, I don't know. Maybe have you experienced such a situation before?
Yes, one time I was coming back from work. You know, these days, getting a car is even difficult.
Charlie, that conversation is for another day. Hey,
And then you
Ministry of Transport. How many times did we call you?
And then you finally get a car, and then you sit in the car, and then the scent that passes over you. Hey, sometimes you just wonder, it's me, Nancy, and now it's serious. You know, some of the questions people ask is that into those who smell like that, do they perceive that smell on themselves?
I'm told most of the time such people cannot. They have gotten used to the smell, so they don't find it foul anymore. I mean, and you know, the situation too is such that it's difficult to tell somebody when they have that problem. How do we deal with it? How do we tell people? How do we save ourselves from? Can we even save ourselves?
We can't save ourselves. I mean, the first is public transport. You don't know where somebody is coming from, and you don't know what that person has, done during the day. But even in the morning, some even have that scent on them.
In the morning.
Even in the morning, and you're like, when Jerry and Sophie Fiana.
Guys, you know that when you're coming into a public space,
you smell good.
Smell good, because it's not just your space.
Yes.
It is a space that others are also using. So come looking okay, come smelling good, so that you create a space of comfort for all those that are around you. This you for know. That's the Euphano segment on Podchrist. So, Baba, I don't know whether you've heard some troubling news that are coming out of our cousins in Nigeria, and we hear it around the world, but I'm singling out Nigeria because it seems to be coming closer and closer to home. Some years back, there were few or pockets of such incidents also being recorded in Burkina Faso, our neighbors up north. And this is the problem of attackers who come to places of worship and come and kill people, bomb people, kidnap people. I mean, for us here in Ghana, sometimes some of these things seem very far, and it looks like it can't happen here. But it's troubling me, and I feel we should have this conversation. I mean, I don't know if church leaders are watching this here in Ghana, they should start looking at precautionary measures that they can put in place so that our churches become safe? Because some of these places that these days happen, it's not that people come to church knowing that, oh, this will happen and it happened. They come so innocent, coming to just worship, and then it happens. Do you think that here in Ghana, in our churches, we don't pay particular attention to security of the people that worship, that come gather in our spaces to worship? I don't know. Take a look around our churches that we have. What is the sense of security we have when people are coming into worship? I just want to pick your thoughts on that.
Well, I think that as Ghanaians, Ghana is a very peaceful country. I mean, it has entered our heads and our skulls to the extent that you go to some churches. I mean, most of the churches in Ghana don't even have fence walls around their buildings, right? And so it's like, if you go to where the national mosque is, right beside the church, you know, that sense of urgency there, we should protect ourselves when we come to church, is not there. At least
And you think that this position that the church is taking, one day it will be a very huge cost to all of us? I mean, that innocent people will just walk into church to come and worship, and one evil person will come and disturb the whole atmosphere of worship, and it will just become loose. Do you think that church should begin to start investing in security equipment that will secure the lives and property of the church? Or we should wait till something happens before we start running helter-skelter looking for ways to save ourselves?
Well, I think that it's time we decide to protect ourselves, because even though God is protecting us, there are some things that we have to take care of physically. And so we have had we've heard on the news cases where churches are closed, and then people come and steal instruments, they come and steal chairs. If people are doing that now, they are stealing instruments, they are stealing chairs, what shows that it cannot happen? That
someone cannot just
enter and then decide to bomb the whole place, and then innocent lives will be lost. And so I think it is time that it doesn't matter if people will say that it is the Lord's house and so everybody is welcome. The fact that everybody is welcome does not mean that then somebody should just come and kill us like that. And so I think it's time we put precautionary measures into place to protect ourselves. Because if I'm coming to worship God, I should have that sense of security. That if I know that I'm coming to worship God in God's house, nothing can happen to me. If I'm having troubles outside, I know that coming into God's house, I'm coming to find that peace and security.
All right, so I'm asking this. This is disturbing because, before COVID came, there were a lot of churches that did not even care about investing in like media equipment. I'm using this as a case study. Then people will come into the church online, then there's no need for it. And then COVID came, and churches were shut down. And research has shown that many of the churches that were not able to invest in media gadgets to be able to meet their people online, many of them have not been able to recover from the shock that COVID brought. Now, it was so because some people were saying that, it's expensive. It's expensive to invest in media things. Camera baku, 25,000 cedis. Then COVID came and they said, now we don't have any camera, we don't have anything to use to communicate to the people where they were. Now, quickly, those who had resources began to mobilize themselves to start to salvage the situation. are we waiting for something to happen? Because if we should go and say that, we think our churches are too accessible, anybody can just walk in and cause harm, maybe we should invest in I don't know that thing I want to require. They used to check you to see if
you have any
people, board members and church members agree that churches should invest in those things, or we will say that our future.
That is what I'm saying, that we have the mindset that as Christians we should be welcoming. We should that the church should be open to everybody. So far as it is the Lord's house, should be open to everybody, and then everybody. You know that for parishes, for the Catholic churches, because anybody on a manner says something is troubling him or her, the person can just walk in, pray. It is, that same situation. Maybe somebody is going through something. Maybe somebody has thoughts of suicide in his or her mind, and then so going in, entering God's house can bring the person some kind of solace but then at least there should be a security personnel asking, please, what can we do for you? What are we coming to do here? It's the same as just like if you have a school building, and then you decide that a school and a church. So let's say for my school, it's a church that has built the school. So we have a school and a church in the same compound, but then just the walls are free. Then you say that because the school has security, the church is not going to have security. So they are the same people manning the gate. Sometimes you will even enter and the security man is waiting there. Right? And so it creates the question that the school and the church are in the same facility. And so what if somebody just enters and then goes inside the school
and picks a child. Or something?
Yes. It's just like a school not having security. Obi Rim, you don't know where that person is coming from. Obi Rim, not of a car. If you can't find the child, how are you going to explain? And so in most schools, even if the parent is not able to come and pick the child, you have to make sure you call.
So they know that you are the person who will be coming.
Yes. And when the person gets to the school, the person has to call the parent, confirm that yes, I'm the person who is coming to pick up the child from school. And so just as we put other safety measures in other places in our community, we should also make sure that the church is also secured. If not, I'll just sit in my house and listen.
Because this news that we keep hearing coming out of Nigeria is troubling, and sometimes I feel and I believe that some of these things could have been averted if certain security measures were put in place. But because we have opened it up so much so that anybody can just access some of these public places, it's making evil men and women come in freely to do what they want to do. And so, we are just making a call and starting a conversation that these things are coming very close to home. We should not wait until it comes and falls on our lap before we start crying. We should, as we are seeing, we should not wait until some of these things happen. And somebody say that, if the Lord doesn't watch, the watchman watching day. So all these things are saying, if somebody will come and even do evil things, it's not about your beauty, architecture that will prevent anything from happening.
Even if it can prevent something from happening, because God does his own spiritually. You have to man up and do yours physically. Even let me use this. The fact that we are Christians doesn't mean we should not work. Because God says in the Bible that we should go to the ant and learn from him. And so it means that we work, enjoy the fruits of our labor. And so it means that you have to work before you eat. The fact that you're a Christian doesn't mean that you go and steal, or you sit down and then food will fall into your lap. That is not going to happen. And so it's the same way. We don't have to sit down and say that Nyankopɔn bɛboa, Nyankopɔn
Let me
bɛbɔ yɛn
just
ho
share
ban.
your, let me share your soul.
Ɛbɛhwɛ yɛn so ɛbɛbɔ yɛn ho ban. At least you have to protect
You have
yourself.
to also put some measures in place,
Yes.
right? Right. This is Podchrist, where faith and conversation intersect. I'm here with Baba, and we are talking about church security. On every side. I think it's a conversation that I don't know if it has been had, but if it has been had, then we have not quite paid attention to it and what we need to start putting in place to make sure that the many men and women of valor that come to worship are safe in our premises. This is on the back of many news items that we are hearing from our neighbors in Nigeria and sometimes in Burkina Faso, of insurgencies that happen when people come and just come and kill innocent worshippers who are just come. We are making this call that we should start looking at securing our churches so that our people are safe. There's one thing that the Assemblies of God General Superintendent says that I would like to quote him. He says that God will not do for us by miracle what we must do by responsibility. The responsibility of making sure that we are safe when we come to our churches is our collective responsibility. You cannot, God is there, He's protecting all of us, but we must also make sure that we put checks in place so that even if evil would happen, we can contain it when it happens, because God has given us the wisdom to be able to do that.
Yes.
So this is it.
Let me change this thing.
Yeah.
And so the fact that the Bible says persecution, if you're a Christian, persecution is going to come does not mean you should sit down for people to persecute us. You should not die just in vain. I mean, those who were persecuted and died in the Bible died for
a cause.
Yes, they died for a cause. Right? Stephen died for a cause. And so you don't have to just sit down and say that, so far as I'm a Christian, the persecution may come. You don't sit down for persecution to run to you. When you see that you can prevent it before it gets to you.
There were times in the Bible where it says he disappeared when they wanted to stone him. He put security measures in place of escape. And that's what we are calling that we do. This is Podchrist, where faith and conversation intersect. I think we've had a great conversation today, and we hope to hear your thoughts, your views. Like, subscribe, and comment, and share this with other believers and other friends, and let us also hear what they think about this. My name is Isaac, and I'll be here with
Baba.
Thank you very much, and see you again next time.